welcome to another episode of The Giant Leap. Today, we have a woman who is not only a superstar coach, helping thousands of people to achieve their dreams, but also super successful in the world of bodybuilding. Today, we welcome
Mel Corsiatto!
Hello! Welcome to our show, Mel.
I'm so excited to be here, guys. Thank you for having me attend your show.
No worries. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I live in Canada. I am a mom of two boys, an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. I have been in the field of coaching for the last 3.5 years. Absolutely love high-ticket coaching. It is definitely my home and my passion to help other people all across the world. I also do bodybuilding as a little side hobby, which keeps me active and keeps me teaching my kids the importance of being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
I'm interested to know, what's the biggest misconception you had about success? How did it change the way you approach things now?
So for me, for success, with growing up, watching my parents work really, really hard. So for me, success was working extremely hard to get the success and to reach the success. Also trading time for money was a huge one, because I seen my mom work to get success. The approach for me with that now is, in the last couple of years, really working on my mindset, my money mindset, and building a new relationship with money, changing my money story, which has allowed me to open up to more abundance within success. And you don't have to trade your time for money. It's more about putting yourself out there, doing what you love to do, and just attracting that abundance to yourself.
So how do you juggle everything? I mean, you're a mum of two boys. You are a successful coach. What success? You've had success in bodybuilding. Tell people about that as well, and then tell us how you juggle it all.
Yeah, so success in the bodybuilding aspect is 3.5 years ago. So I've always wanted to do bodybuilding, but I had this misconception in my mind where I wasn't good enough, I was fat, I was ugly, everybody else was better than me. Myself, I went through a journey of doing hypnotherapy. And in that hypnotherapy session, I went back to a time when I was 14, realized where I learned the belief that I wasn't good enough, that I was fat, that I wasn't important. Worked through that in that session. 3 days later, I actually signed up for my first bodybuilding competition.
Oh my gosh! Throwing yourself in at the deep end.
Didn't even know what I was expecting to get into. I was already, pretty healthy, going to the gym, working out, but not to that extreme where, it's on a whole new level when you do bodybuilding. But yeah, 3 days after, it didn't even click in my mind until my hypnotherapy coach said, do you just realize you just overcome an obstacle that's been holding you back for years in the body, putting yourself out there, to signing up? I'm like, I know, and now it's reality. And now I set a date. Now I have to get to work and actually overcome these fears and these misconceptions in my mind. So it was pretty cool.
Wow. And then you've won things. What have you won? Explain how that felt.
I've done about 4 bodybuilding competitions in the span of 3.5 years. So my first year I did one. 6 months later I did another one, and then I took a year off, did another one, took a year off, did another one. First time jumping on the stage, I hit 3rd place and 4th place. First time ever on the stage.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I wasn't to my full capacity of what I could actually look like on stage. It was more of just a fun thing for me to do. I didn't really take bodybuilding seriously in my first 2 competitions. So second time jumped on the stage, I think I did a 3rd and a 5th place. And then the 3rd time I jumped on the stage, it was, I believe I got 2/3. And then this last time I jumped on the stage, I went from bikini to figure, completely changed. And I got 1st place in figure, and I got 2 second places, which qualified me to go off to the national stage. And I actually went on international stage in a completely,
Wow.
and there I placed 2/3 and 1/4 up against pro level
Oh my God,
division.
That is insane.
that's hectic.
Wow.
It was-
How did that feel to do that, to achieve those things?
It felt pretty amazing. It was a huge accomplishment because I started taking bodybuilding seriously. I started focusing harder. I started getting more disciplined, and really became an athlete. The first 2 times I wasn't really an athlete. It was more just for, oh, let's get skinny and let's get up on the stage and see what I can do. But now it's more of like a competition level where I've shifted within myself, and now I am an athlete and I show up as an athlete. So
Yeah,
That's amazing.
that's amazing.
Have you always had the seed for success, or was it just like after you had the hypnotherapy and then you started on this journey? Like, has it been in you from an early age to have that strive? Because some people, you know, they're happy with the mediocre, like just to, you know, keep on an even plane. And then there's some people that, you know, have this inner drive to be successful. Was it from a younger age, or did you find it later on?
I think it's always been ingrained in me, to be
Okay,
honest.
why?
That's so full on, Josh. You're so full on. What was that?
I know I just have such a huge drive inside of me for, I'm very at a very competitive level, but I just have this drive to do better, to be better, to show up better. And I think it's just leaving an example for other people to kind of pave the path for other people. Because as you hang around other people and they get this vibe from you, this being driven, you know, being focused, that kind of like wears off on other people, I believe, especially for my kids, because I want to be the role model for my kids and show them like you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it definitely comes from a younger age. Don't know exactly what age it comes from, but I know too, on my journey in life and being an addict at such a young age, I was 12 years old, became an addict, and for 15 years in and out of that scene. And it was to a point where I really hit rock bottom,
Mhm.
and there was almost no turning back. I almost lost my life due to a car accident. And I think it was from that moment that I knew I was put on this earth for something more grander than what I was actually doing.
Do you think the success mindset and that addiction mindset can be linked? Like, because they're very, you know, it's that
Yeah.
drive.
It's that obsessiveness.
Yeah. Do you feel like that could be a link?
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a link, I think. And I've always had an addictive personality, but I think that links in with the success. And actually, you know, since overcoming my addiction, it's probably gotten a lot stronger because, you know, I almost have to fulfill my addiction with something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthy addictions.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Do you think so do you think you were born with that feeling, that drive to succeed, or did you think that it was created through like a mentorship, or you know, what how do you think?
Or childhood, like,
Yeah, like a mentorship,
like
as in like your
parent
parents
or
or anything like that.
Or like the mentorship with my parents, like seeing my parents split up when I was at a young age, and just seeing the drive in my mom and seeing her working so hard for us, and her being successful in her own career, and passion and the drive that she had, it probably lingered into me, and I seen that
And now
happening in
you
front of
get
my,
to do it for your kids.
and now I get to do it for my kids. Funny.
yeah. How do you, I asked you earlier, but we went off on a verge. So, but how do you juggle being a mum, being a coach, doing your bodybuilding, and being able to go camping at the weekends and live this amazing, incredible life? What do you call it? Four by fouring? Like, is that
By siding.
side by siding? That's it, side by siding. Which I think, right? Yeah, exactly. What the hell, right? So it is quad biking,
Okay.
I think. right? That's what I think it is.
All right.
Yeah, but in Canada it's side by siding. So how do you do all of it?
Yeah, great question. It's I get it's really comes down to uh time management, to be honest. Like having, and I know I've learned this from one of my mentors, Lloyd. He, you got to have your non-negotiables. You got to put those into your calendar, and that's what I do. I literally fill out my calendar every single week. Non-negotiables. I have to go to the gym at this time. Got to get to the kids to school this time. Got to block the time off for time with the kids. Go camping. So I think it's just really staying diligent and disciplined to my schedule.
Google
And
Calendar is good for that, isn't it?
yeah, Google Calendar is
Yeah.
amazing.
It's literally my best friend. Like I'm attacked if it's not in my calendar, it's not happening. It's that simple. So.
Do you think your drive and your ambition comes more from fear, or more for like that carrot dangling? There's a story of like there was this experiment with a rat, and they had the rat's tail tied, and it was measured by how much the rat pulled on the string that it was tied to, and they put a bit of cheese at one end of the maze, and then saw how much the rat would pull, and then they put a cat at the back and saw what it pulled for more. Was it the pleasure of the cheese or the fear of the cat? And for the rat, it was the fear of the cat. I was wondering, what is it for you? What is it that really gives you that drive?
I think it's just the ambition of just setting the goal and staying focused on that goal, and the ambition of what I have to do to be able to reach that goal. And it's the little wins in between that keep me going and keep me pushing towards. So I don't think it's,
So yours would be more of the cheese.
yeah. Yeah, I don't, fear is, everyone acknowledges fear and has fear in every aspect that they do in life. And it's just, and I learned this on the first time I went on the stage for my first bodybuilding competition. I was so freaking fearful of stepping on the stage, of falling off on my heels, my bikini coming off, like anything can happen when you're on the stage. And I was so fearful. But it was just standing there and just acknowledging the fear, just being like, yeah, I know you're there. I acknowledge you, but you're not going to push me away from something that I want to do and be successful at. So guess what? I'm walking with you, and we're going to walk on that stage together, and I'm not going to be fearful. So
And
I
then
think fear,
how did you feel after that?
absolutely incredible. Like just the were going through my body, and it was just like, wow, like I did something that most people actually don't see the end of it, because there's many people that come into bodybuilding to reach the stage that they don't get to that final finish line. And I got to that finish.
I've booked in on the 28th of March next year to do my first bodybuilding thing. It was like the first timers one. And I've just started back at the gym after 6 months off, and I can barely move.
That's incredible, awesome.
Yeah.
And now, are you fearful of doing the bodybuilding competition?
I think I'll be completely fine getting up on stage. That'll be hilarious for me, but we'll see. But yeah, you were an inspiration in that, so thank you. Seeing your success and stuff, I thought, oh, I'll just give it a go. I'll book. I told this person the other day, because they wanted to speak up on stage and stuff. That's in Lloyd's in the 5 steps. They were saying, oh yeah, I want to speak up on stage, but I'll need to do Toastmasters first and all this stuff. And I just said, no, just book your spot up on stage and then prepare. And so I saw an opportunity to book, and I just thought, well, I have to do the same. So I've done that.
I can't wait to watch your journey.
Yeah. Josh is one of those people that doesn't have like he just decides and then does something. And it just happens. Like he went and did his first marathon and decided to run a trail ultra marathon for his first one, like in the South Downs, which is like this, like people have got sticks and bags, and he's there just like, oh right, I'm just gonna do this. And
yeah, my knees weren't usable for like 6 months, and then I had black toes, and all my nails fell off my toes. But it was a really good experience.
But talking about that, this is kind of the sacrifices. So what have you sacrificed that people don't see for this success that you've had?
Oh, you have no idea the sacrifices that I have. Right, and people don't see that on social media or in your life, right? Because behind doors, like I have to sacrifice. Like I still eat with the kids, but the kids eat their food, and I have to eat my own food. I have to be disciplined to my own meal plan. Going out with friends, I can't go out with friends. I need to, stay focused in my own lane. Even camping, when I'm in prep, going camping, I have to sacrifice, go camping and still runs beside the side by side as my boys and my husband are in the side by side, because I still have to stay disciplined. So I physically couldn't be in the side by side. I had to run beside them.
Yeah.
Late nights, like I got to go to bed early. Movie nights, well, I can't sit there and have the popcorn with the kids.
Yeah.
The mornings that I don't want to go to the gym, I have to go to the gym. So
Yeah.
there's so many sacrifices. If I'm sick, I still have to show up. I still have to, I still need my rest, but there's still the fine line. Like you still have to, you committed to your goals and you have to show up regardless.
So is it worth it? Is it worth the sacrifice?
100%. And you know what is the best part about it and what's worth it is when I'm up on stage and my kids are in the audience and they're go mom, go, go mom, go. That's worth it.
Yeah. And it teaches them that discipline and the kind of how we tested our daughter at a young age to do like the marshmallow test to see if she would wait for a second marshmallow for 15 minutes, and she did, and it's that delayed gratification, like sacrificing
the popcorn,
a bit of time for your future self.
Yeah.
And teaching them that is priceless.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's the best. And then when they come running to the backstage, when I've got all my medals and my hardware, they just want to hold it and they want to put it around their necks, and they're just so like, I just see the joy and the proudness in them that I got up on stage and I went through 23 weeks of preparing for it, and the final package is in there, and I got the hardware to prove my hard work.
When it comes to planning goals for success, like how do you go about that? Because I've tried heaps of times to set goals, and then like along the journey I'll have like a change of perspective, and then my goals will shift. So how do you deal with just sticking to the goals that you've set out to go for and go for them?
Good question. Again, it just comes back to if I set myself a goal to reach, nothing's going to get in my way to get to that goal.
Yeah.
The mindset of connecting myself with the goal and not giving a crap about what comes in my way, because I'm going to push through it so that I can reach my goal.
And do you do it step by step? Like, do you make the goals like really simple and then, work through them? Like, do you have 30-day, 90-day, that kind of thing? Or do you have just one big audacious goal that you go for?
I think I'm more of just the one big goal, set that one big goal. And then I have a plan of how to get to that goal. And it's like a day by day plan, to be honest. Like not a really 30 days, 60 day or 90 day. It's just, I know what that end goal is. My eyes are focused on that end goal, and I just got to go day by day.
So then it's like the ladder, like the step ladder to get to there. So you just do day by day to get to there and make sure that you tick everything you need to do that day. That's cool. That's a good way of looking at it. Like for me, that's much more manageable than a 30-day goal. I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate like the 30-day and the 90-day. It's like, oh, like, but actually, okay, today I have to do this to get there, It's manageable, isn't it?
So manageable. And I know exactly what I need to do in the day, and I don't go to bed until everything's checked. As long as I check my things, every night before I go to bed, we're golden. And you know what? There's some days that you don't, and that's okay. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Just as long as you've shown up and done your best to tick off all of the things that you need to do in that day.
So a lot of our listeners are people that are like struggling with success or having difficulties and need, it's difficult that success doesn't just come. So have you ever found a time where your mindset just isn't in it, and how do you overcome that? How do you overcome the struggles where you're just not getting and achieving what you want?
Oh, that's a good one. Because we all have those bad days, right? We're not perfect every single day, and we're
Yeah.
not with everything every single day. Huh. I think it's okay to just sit in that moment and to feel that. And I think is the best thing that you could do is acknowledge it and just know that you're kind of in this moment, but surrounding yourself with the right people to kind of like help you through that. I think that's what gets me through it, is being surrounded by my family.
Yeah.
I think that's just, I think that'd be my answer, is surrounding myself with my family and just being present with them and just knowing that it's going to pass. Tomorrow's a new day. Just be in the feeling, feel it. We're human, and go to bed and wake up great.
With the addiction that you had, does your mind ever go back there in those moments, or are you completely past that?
Oh no, and it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
I've been years, and it's still like there's different seasons where it comes up worse. But yeah, my mind goes back to that. Like, especially if I drive by a space where I've used, it's like my
Yeah.
mind links and connects what I did 15 years ago in this spot that I'm driving by. So
Wow.
my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be an ongoing battle for the rest of my life in that aspect. But with that being said, when I went to treatment, I got a great tool in treatment, and I use this in my everyday life, but I mostly use it with my addiction when it comes up, is I have this tape that I play.
Okay.
And think about, okay, wanting to use, I play my tape. I literally put it into my cassette player and I play this tape, and it is, okay, so if I go and use, I pick up, and then I go through all the emotions and I inhale that, how it feels. But then I also come the outcome of, if I do that, I'm going back down the old path.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose myself. I'm gonna lose my family, lose my kids. So I go right down to the rock bottom.
Wow.
And that's what keeps me. Okay, I'm not going down that road. Shift gears and don't even
So
think about it.
that's like your cat. See, that's like your cat. That's what keeps you running forward, is that, no, I'm not going back there, because that's where the cat lives. It's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me.
Yeah. And it's even like with my coaching, I use it with my bodybuilding. It's, when I'm in my prep and it's completely disciplined going through the prep, the mind is always shifting and negative things are coming in, and, oh, I just want to give up. I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this to myself? Again, or if I want to have a piece of chocolate cake that I can't have, I play that tape. And if I put that chocolate cake into my mouth,
Yeah.
the person standing beside me on that stage probably didn't have that cake.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Amazing. Yeah. What an amazing mindset tool. Like, that's really powerful. Like what you just shared there is like incredible, to actually relive, like to live the situation to the point where you do it, in your head, and then actually by the end of it you have the outcomes. So you're actually going through it visually, to the end, so you can see that this is the right goal or the wrong goal. That's amazing. What an amazing tool. Yeah.
It's gotten me, it's kept me clean for 15 years. And it's also helped me, like I said, in my bodybuilding, it's helped me in my coaching. So
Yeah.
even when I do coaching calls, and it's again, like, if you're not in the right, have the right energy or in the right mindset, the mind space, when you jump on that call, you play the tape. Well, if I'm not showing up as my best version part of myself for this client, I'm doing them a disservice. What's
Yeah.
the outcome? They're not going to have a good experience. They're not going to be able to change their lives. So it happens even with my kids. Like every aspect, you can use this tape. It's just create the story, the outcome of going down the bad path, what that outcome is going to be.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a real massive eye opener for how to be successful, I think.
Yeah, I think that would help loads of people.
Yeah, I do. I think that's a really big tool that, yeah. So thank you. I'm sure we're gonna have people saying thank you very much for sharing that bit. So it's a good tip.
So you're laid up at the moment because you had surgery, and so what's that like? Is it a bit frustrating? And when you've got like you're like, oh, I just want to get into like my next thing to get towards my next goal, and I just can't do it. Like, how's that feel?
Oh, man, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. But again, it's just knowing the outcome of going through this process. Like, I believe in life, as you go through your journey, like I would never change nothing that's happened in my past because it's a journey that I had to go through to be able to come who I am today. So I think everything that touches us is part of our journey. And I think this is showing me part of my journey when it comes to bodybuilding, and even the addiction aspect is you have to look after yourself. And when the time is that you have to set back, you have to sit back, because this is what's going to propel me to get to my next goal. As
Yeah, and I
hard as
think
it is.
I think the lessons that you learn in that time, like that's what you will need, the tools that you need to get you to the next place. Like I was saying to Cole, who's in our mentorship, how he was saying like how hard his journey is at the moment and stuff, and I was explaining that, like, some people might choose to climb Mount Warning, which is like this small mountain in Australia, and then there's some people that are going to want to try climb Mount Everest, and the training that goes into climbing Mount Everest is a lot more brutal and hectic compared to climbing Mount Warning. So if you're someone that wants that success and has like these huge audacious goals, life is just going to like throw you the things that you need to build those tools to get to where you want to go.
100%. Yeah. And I think this time of this downtime, as hard as it is on me, because I'm a go person, as hard as it is on me, it's showing me patience. It's showing me to love myself where I'm at. It's showing me to take time for myself and just to accept it. And it's okay.
Yeah.
But definitely hard, because when you're so used to being on the go all the time and your schedule is so full, it's definitely an eye opener. But
when you're building up for like a competition, a bodybuilding competition, and also you're doing like high ticket sales, do you block out time for the bodybuilding bit, or you just do it all at once? Like, can you focus on both, or do you have a block of time where you're like, no, I've got to block out and not do the high ticket sales because that takes a lot to be there for people and coach them through emotionally and stuff, and really you need like a lot of focus to do your bodybuilding, like preparing for a competition. So how do you manage both, or do you block out and do one at a time?
yeah, so when I'm on my off season, it's usually 2 hours I spend at the gym and doing my cardio stuff. So I always do that for the first part of my day. And then the rest of the day is for my high ticket sales, for my coaching. When I'm solid in my prep, I do have to block out times, but I kind of mesh it all together, because it's energy feeds off energy. And as I'm doing my bodybuilding, that's an energy that I love, which also feeds into something else with coaching that I love as well.
Yeah.
So split up. So I get up super early in my day before the kids are up to get out and do my cardio. So that's where my hour and a half of cardio, 5 a.m. I'm out doing that, get them off to school, block off time to go to the gym. That's usually about an hour. And then the rest of the day is fully for my clients.
Yeah, yeah, that's similar to how we've set up our day, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very similar sort of thing. But yeah, I have, like, it's easier for me to start earlier because of the Australian time zone. So I could start much earlier at work, but I don't.
I think I'd struggle with like doing the high ticket sales in the build up of the competition with the fasting and stuff, because I'd be so like, if they said the wrong thing on the other end of the call, I'd just be like, no, I can't be bothered with this. End the call.
Yeah, it's so true, because you get at the last two, you're just so on edge because you're so limited with your calories, but you're also burning so much while you're doing your cardio in your gym. I've trial and error with that. So my first couple of years doing bodybuilding and high ticket sales, I worked through the whole time, right up until I went on, like a day before I went on stage. Super exhausting, very tiring. So this last time I competed, I took the week off before stepping on, much better. I had a couple little calls here and there, but nothing that really drained me, which was I was able to more focus just on my bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a good way to do it, so that you can really, and that's the beauty of the kind of work that we're doing, is that you can take time off when you choose to. You can actually just say, I'm not open.
Yeah,
So
that's the beauty of high tickets and being in control of your own destiny.
Yeah. How important do you think it is to being successful, to building a successful mindset, giving yourself space, like not overworking or not filling your calendar up with heaps of things to do, to give yourself a minute. Also, like, you have kids, you have a husband, you have lots of other stuff going on, but surely you need some like time to download, process stuff. Do you try and create that kind of space? Is that important to you being successful?
I think, honestly, for myself being successful, I don't think it is. Like, I do make time for myself, but I probably should make more time for myself. But I manage okay with, going out and getting a massage or going to get a pedicure. Stuff like that is more of my downtime, because I'm a go person. So for me, I don't really need that space where I set aside and I, sit with myself and have downtime, because I think downtime brings me down.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. I can literally just keep going for days without really stopping and just not even think about it. It's fine. Whereas Josh, absolutely not. Like, if he doesn't have time where he's not doing anything, he can't continue. Like, it's like it's just completely, it's weird for me to manage that. I had to learn. It took a long time to actually understand that not everybody just can keep going, because I just thought everyone could, because you've just got that much energy. Yeah, like everyone can just do this and just work for days. But no, apparently not.
Everybody has to find what works for them, right? Because we're all different individuals. So you have to find what works for you. If it's just go, great. If that works for you, continue that. But if you are finding that you're getting really exhausted and, everything is just feeling like a daunting chore, then yes, I think you need to reassess and be like, yes, maybe I do need some downtime.
Yeah. Your children, if they asked you what they needed to do to be successful, what would you tell them?
To set your mind to something that you want to achieve, to put your full effort into it, to celebrate your wins, celebrate your failures, because that's where you're going to learn, and don't give up. As hard as it gets, don't give up. Keep your eye on that goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like, with the failure, can you think of a time when a big failure actually led to success? Because failing forward is, really important.
for me, it was that transitional point of using to becoming sober, right? Of a huge failure for getting to rock bottom and hitting rock bottom, just about losing everything, to one day completely shifting and striving to do better, striving to be a better person.
It's
So
amazing
that,
when you hit that rock bottom space, well, for me anyway, because you see yourself in like your rawest, and you see what's really important, like when you couldn't be bothered making food for yourself and like looking in the mirror, right? None of that stuff's important, and you just fully see yourself, and then you know, building back up from that space. I think it makes you I liken it to like it felt like when you're rock bottom, it feels like you kind of buried deep underground, and then you're like slowly getting yourself up, you see a bit of light, and then it all kind of falls back on you again. And then, but as you get like start figuring out stuff, then you get better tools, like and then eventually you got a shovel and you can just chuck yourself out of there, and you're good to go. And I think having that, you know, some people don't get to experience that really low part where you get to really see yourself in the dirty depths of your soul. And I think people that have ventured there, it's pretty amazing.
that's scary.
Yeah,
It's scary at that point, and for me to look back, knowing how bad it was, you know, like I never want to go back there. And it's, but yeah, it was definitely a failure that led to success, because if that car accident wouldn't have happened, that led me to spend 30 days in the hospital, I probably would be dead
yeah.
or
Yeah, wow.
living on the street.
Wow. So it's just like that one life-changing event saved your life, basically.
It's kind of like forced rehabilitation, like by
Was,
being, yeah,
yeah, it was. But it also too, like as going through that and coming off the drugs and everything, and seeing my family so supportive, my family there for me, my family by my side, and just like, wow, they could have lost me. And seeing sadness in them to see me in the state that I was pretty horrific. Yeah, it was horrible.
and now from going from like a car accident where you nearly lost your life, and now you've got this amazing machine, this body that you know, is incredible. It's like, what a transition you've made.
Complete transition.
And not just
So
body, but lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like you've got this incredible lifestyle. Like you earn great money, you do something you love, you know, you're doing a side thing that you love, you're being able to spend time with your kids. Like that's incredible. Like, yeah. What is the ultimate success? What does it look like?
just continuing down the path that I'm on, and you know, getting back to that stage, the national stage again in 2026, and smashing my goals, overcoming, you know, beating myself from this past year. That's gonna be huge. But just, you know, seeing my kids too continue to grow and have success in their lives, and what I'm learning on my journey, being able to duplicate that into them. And ultimate success goal for me is to bring my husband home so he doesn't have to work so hard outside of the home, so that he can start doing his own passion and doing what sets his soul on fire.
Oh, that's so lovely. That's
Right.
really
I'm
amazing.
gonna ask a last question.
We are really, yeah, we're aware of your time.
So, Melissa Corsiatto, are you successful?
I am very successful.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we have absolutely loved having you on here. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, you've shared some amazing things and some great tips and tricks.
You're really inspirational, and
Truly.
I think you've given some awesome, like, wise tips to people listening, and you'll help a lot of people. So it's incredible.
Yeah, lovely to have you. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Thank you.